Okay, guys, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters San Jose qualifier for Korea, leading into the Asian final tomorrow. We already know one player advancing on, which is Rain, the Indestructor Protoss, who doesn't seem to die.
He's incredible. He definitely is, for sure, one of the best Protoss players in the world. A lot of people say he is the best Protoss player in the world, but I'm not going to say anything along that. I'm just going to say he's one of the best because we all know he is. But leading into this next one is definitely, for me, two of the best Zerg players as well. I'm not going to say the best in the world again. I'm going to fluff it up a little bit. But these two players are absolutely incredible. I've been a fan of Rogue for so long. He was my Zerg because I really enjoyed following Jin Air. They were kind of my team in Pro League.
When he was Savage.
And yeah, and Savage. I love Savage. I love Rogue. He's awesome. But then you got Solar. He's like the most lovable character. And to be honest, I think out of all the Koreans in the last year or so, Solar has gone from having very little fans to having a lot more than anybody else. That kind of growth he has more than anybody else, I'd say.
Completely. I mean, all it takes is for one of the little Koreans to say something in English, right? But then Solar bursts on and he says, he recites poems in English. He has the wealth of all the English knowledge.
He speaks the Shakespeare English.
he's really good at English, basically.
And he's really young as well. And he's such a sweetheart. And we all saw him cry and break down pretty much at DreamHack a couple of months back or a month back ago when he won that tournament in Stockholm. Just a lovable character, but Rogue is just like godlike. He is so very, very good at StarCraft 2.
Yes, he is.
He doesn't really have that many weaknesses, to be honest. He's just a very complete all-round player. He's chosen an 8 pool here to open up against Solar. So Solar could be in a bit of trouble here if he goes for a hatchery first. He has no idea what his opponent's doing, so he may choose a spawning pool first or hatch. It's really up to him on how he wants to start this series, but Rogue has already definitely decided, of course.
I think one of the most interesting things about Solar, whilst this game is getting on, and it looks like Solar is going to end up going for a spawning pool overall, is that one of the most interesting things about Solar was when he showed us his Kesper license. You remember that?
Yeah. Because he's been a part of Kesper like forever. He was drafted into Kesper and then has stayed in Kesper. And it was funny because it was such a random thing. I was just thinking along the lines. I was talking to him at dinner,
you were the one that provoked
and I was like, "You've been in Kesper for you have a pro gamer license then, don't you?" And he's like, "Yes, I do." And then he got it out of his wallet and he showed us around to everyone who hadn't really seen one before.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd seen them before because Idra used to have one.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So I knew what they were and stuff. It just kind of random thought come across. But anyway, Solar knows what he's playing against. His first overall has seen these lings. He does have a very early spawning pool. He's going to build 6 lings. The way that he can play this is if the ling's got to work on his hatch, he'll wait for his own 6 lings and then pull a couple of drones to make sure he wins the fight. He doesn't want to lose his hatch here. I'm pretty sure he'll commit to defending it.
Yeah, you do see sometimes people actually just let it finish and then even have to let it go completely. But with these 8 lings on the drones as well.
And with no gas follow-up from Rogue, it's kind of just an expansion. This is so very good for Solar because he shouldn't lose his hatchery here. And he's got more drones, 5 drones more. Obviously, they're not mining right now, but the biggest point is this extra hatchery, which is huge. It's very, very big.
And overall, the drones not mining, he had a drone lead anyway, so just kind of equalizing things up at the front and making sure that this fight doesn't swing in Rogue's favor is important, and he's not really losing too much.
Yeah, and even though there's more lings out for Rogue, the drone here is a great buffer.
Yeah, definitely. And he should be able to win out this fight.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't lose the hatch, that's the most important. He takes a good fight. He's got the queen coming down. Successful hold. Despite being behind in supply, the extra hatchery is humongous. It's so big. The only difference, though, Solar, from what we see and what he knows, doesn't know about the follow-up. It could be already circling speed on the way. There could be a flood of lings very, very shortly here. He doesn't know, and the 3 lings that he has running across the map are his scout. Until that, I would even expect another queen to follow up. Queen is the best defense against any early pressure. You can block the ramp, you can transfuse, you can fight with your own Zerglings. Everything's just amazing for you. So Solar, to be honest, is already looking at a map #1 victory. This is such a big lead he's sustained.
Yeah, and even, when it got out of that, even though some drones died off at the front, still it comes back to the point that we made before of he had a drone lead anyway. So, and just barely doesn't get in there.
Yeah, good block there by Rogue, and Solar had to take the fight to break through. Therefore, Rogue was actually able to deny the scout. And to be honest, that denying the scout could be the way back in, because both players are droning heavily. If Solar starts to commit to defense, a spine and lings and another queen, and Rogue only drones throughout this point, he can actually catch up and potentially overtake in terms of the lead, just because of a lack of information that Solar was, unfortunately, unable to gather.
Yeah, especially since Solar in the end right now is playing a gasless style, right? Which Rogue never really saw in the main base, but because he's playing a gasless style, he has to be playing predominantly defensive and not really doing much.
And the thing is in this game, from the get-go, Rogue is the aggressor. Naturally, Solar must take the defensive stance. There is no way that Solar turns this around to be aggressive himself. So it really depends on how much he commits to a defense. He's saving lava.
Oh, but he just saw so many drones actually going down.
Yeah, and now he built 6 drones himself. So he was waiting. What do I need to build? Okay, you're droning, 9, 10 drones coming in. So that is the advantage of that early second hatch coming in. And Solar very patiently waited until he made a decision on what he had to do. And to be honest, he goes back into the lead. Or stays in the lead, I think is better.
Yeah, exactly. It's because, like, if he hadn't have got that scout, yeah, maybe there'd have been a little bit of a deficit, but getting that scout was nice. Yeah. Very, very nice. He goes into double gas at his natural with this. He'll catch up in terms of that gas count. But Rogue, where is he going to put his gas? Because he hasn't gone into speed or anything.
No, it could be a fast layer, it could be a Roach Baneling bus, it can be just a regular couple of evolution chambers that come down. Solar has now seen a 3rd base coming in. So Solar immediately goes for a layer here. He may play Mutalisk from this point. Or could be fast Roach speed, get the layer down and throw a Roach Warren down as well, and then get fast Roach speed, and it is going to be that. So upon seeing this, he knows his opponent, through playing behind, has probably had enough gas just to build Zergling speed as he's got, and then has thrown an expansion down. Solar has chosen to go for Roach speed really fast and probably a +1 attack, and is going to have the advantage when it comes to the Roach War, and which will be this game.
And overall, though, this drone... Wait, where are you going? Are you actually going up to the
18
gold?
Zerglings on the way for Rogue.
Is Solar going to take the gold?
He is. But it's not going to work. There's 18 Lings on the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I was expecting him to try and take the 3rd, then that be spotted by this Overlord, and then the pressure to come. But taking the gold, that's almost
a little
suicidal
bit greedy. If Rogue hadn't have gotten a lot of units here, and there's even a Baneling Nest coming in, so I think that we are going to see Rogue play quite aggressive this game.
Yeah. I mean, why not? With seeing now that this drone was heading up to that location,
it's almost like a fake out, because Rogue has thrown the 3rd down, and he knows his opponent's reacting to a 3rd and drones, but in reality, it's not... Okay, it is the layer and drone start, so never mind. But yeah, gold base isn't going to be established here. There's no Zergling speed for Solar. He's only working on Roach speed. He has to give up the 3rd.
And the longer it takes for him to establish the 3rd, he will fall behind when it comes to drones and income, etc. And that's the cost of trying to go for a gold and taking that risk.
But he has Roach speed and +1 attack faster. As long as he makes a wall and walls off with a Queen for counterattacks, his Roach production could almost kill Rogue's 3rd.
Yeah, and he is just making Roaches at the moment, freeing up a lot of supply with double Overlord production, so he might just keep going.
He will. He can't build drones because he's already saturated 2 bases and he hasn't got a 3rd, so he has to build Roaches at this point. And Rogue must defend his 3rd base. He's building Roaches now. If he defends his 3rd, he then goes into the lead properly in this game. 3 hatch versus 2, better income, better to production, but he must defend. And Solar must also not take damage to counters, whether it be a counter to his 3rd hatchery or a counter to his natural.
Look at this, Solar. I think he feels just too provoked into sitting being defensive by these Lings, because he's got 10 drones on the way now.
Yep.
These Lings have done a great job of pulling him left and right and making him feel really on edge.
Yeah, and hopefully that allows Rogue to take a lead in this game for his sake.
Look, every time they're threatening and like pulling this back and slowing down a push. This is great by Rogue. Really, really nice.
And Rogue is hiding his unit count, by the way. It's not like you've got to always think from one player's perspective. We have no idea. Solar has no idea what exactly is being built. Roaches or drones or Lings or what. It's pure army. And now we see 8 drones from Solar who's trying to catch back up in the game because his 3rd was so late.
Yeah.
So it's always like each player is a move ahead of the other. And it's more so Rogue at the moment, who is planning an attack towards a 3rd that's meant to be drawn because Solar's the one thinking he's behind. Lots of mind games in high-level StarCraft.
Very, very nice. 3rd base just about to finish up. Ling's still looking to threaten. I mean, even when they show themselves to Overlords alone, like on this right-hand side, for example, makes the Roaches move down here, making sure that he can keep his 3rd alive.
If Solar holds his 3rd, he then takes the lead again, obviously. 12 drone difference. The attack is about to commence for Rogue. His Roach speed finishes up. Here we go. He's going to go across the other side of the map, and this now comes down to Solar position and Roach count. But he's already got so many Roaches.
Roach numbers are very, very even, but there's an extra, like, 50 Lings, which, if they get a wraparound from behind on these Roaches, then they could be the difference maker.
Spine coming into position to hold on for this attack, and it is a big attack.
It's going to push forwards here. How well are the Lings going to do? The surface area on this left-hand side pushes the Roaches back to the point where he's almost dividing the Roach numbers up. but the Lings on the left-hand side do get pushed away. Solar has the better reinforcement point, so the extra 13 Roaches that are on the way could hold. He also has 1 or 2 transfuses on these Queens. I don't think Rogue's going to bust this.
Doesn't look like it. Looks like the Roach count just enough high here for Solar to hold on against this attack. And the Queen's added in as well.
It can be very, very difficult to tell when an attack like that is going to go in your favor as the aggressor, and it was close, but again, the reinforcing Roaches there and the Queens with transfuses were pivotal.
And now it's Solar who manages to hold on versus that timing and is in the lead. He has +2 attack on the way, or will be shortly after its contamination has been stopped.
Oh, where was that?
On the evolution chamber. And then the plus on Carapace too. So he's in a great position, fantastic position, and both players are only building units.
I mean, in Rogue's shoes right now, it's very difficult to do anything unless you do something really tricky. He has to go for another push, but his Roach's numbers are significantly inferior, and he's going against the reinforcement point, so nothing is going in Rogue's favor right now.
Yeah, this is Solar's almost game at this point if they just continue to build up.
He contaminated an Evil Chamber that isn't even making anything, so he's just like, well, I'll just continue capitalizing.
Yeah, that 2-1 timing is going to be huge for Solar.
Yeah.
Massive, actually.
One could argue that contamination would actually have been better served on a hatchery or something like that at this point.
Yeah.
To slow down the lava production.
Yeah. I mean, Solar's taking his 4th. He's droning up a little bit more. He's getting Burrow. We'll probably see Tunneling Claws as well if he's going to go for, Burrow might as well. And it's just in, like I said, a wonderful, wonderful position here. They're both playing at a very high level. Lots of good play despite lack of knowledge. And it is Solar in the driving seat, 37 supply in the lead.
Yeah, very much so in the driving seat, you're right. Rogue now has a very, very tall order ahead of him, which he's got so few Roaches in comparison. 53 against 36. Reinforcement point's going to have to be damn strong in this one, but I don't think he can make up the numbers like that right now.
Yeah, it's... This attack at 2-1, I think, is more than likely going to end the game, unfortunately. It's just been played out so well by Solar.
And Burrow causes a bit of a problem as well, because he can just heal up some of these Roaches during this. There's Burrow finishes, but he pushes straight on in, just spearheads through a lot of these Roaches, and in the end, numbers probably going in Solar's favor, despite Rogue having a better concave.
Yeah. It's a numbers and upgrade game here, and Solar is the one who held on versus that attacker and naturally was going to take a lead here. And should be able to finish off this game. As you can see, 20 more Roaches on the way for Solar. He's going to keep hammering this one home. The upgrades are a very long time away from coming in for Rogue. And unfortunately, this is always going to go in favor of Solar, Samsung Zerg.
Yeah, just doesn't have enough Roaches here. Never mind the reinforcements. GG, Solar takes game number 1. An ambitious start there from Rogue to start this series off. And Solar just handled it brilliantly.
Yeah, brilliant game again there by both players. And it's cool to see it develop, and hopefully we can continue throughout the series as well. Just looking at some other results coming in, we are going to be having, after this game, Byong versus Gumiho.
Okay.
In a Terran versus Terran, I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice, yeah.
After that one. And then it will be, unfortunately, we cannot cast Jaedong versus Fantasy. That is one game short of the quarterfinals, which we are definitely doing, of course. So Jaedong versus Fantasy, the winner of that versus Stats will be the final game of the evening. So, or the afternoon.
Lovely WECG Korean qualifier winner.
Yes.
From last night or yesterday during the morning, depending on where you are. Anyway, so we're getting into game number 2. What was the map? Was it Catalina, I think?
I don't know. I don't read Korean. I didn't see the image.
Okay, I'm going to assume, yeah, it is. Okay.
Solar now just one game away from joining Rain as the second player to qualify from the Korean qualifier, heading into tomorrow's Asian finals for the Intel Extreme Masters San Jose. And on top of that, we've got 2 players qualified from Europe. 4GG and Vortex played just last weekend, or this past weekend on Sunday.
Vortex showing that it can still hang with a lot of good Koreans in the European region.
Played very well, to be honest, and it's a good representation of Europe, I think. Vortex is the most successful player in Premier League of the Europeans.
Yep.
4GG's been the longest Korean in Europe for forever. So it's a good 2 players to represent us.
Well, let's get into it then. Game number 2, as we have spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner, currently leading the series, just needs one more win to advance on to tomorrow. It is Solar. And over on the left-hand side, we have our blue Zerg. Representing Jin-Air, it is Rogue.
Rogue would love to see him at another tournament. I haven't seen him compete really outside of Korea in a very, very long time. I'm actually not sure which one it was last saw him at. I would True's actually, because True and Rogue both together formerly of Jin Air. True and Rogue, man, just my two favorites.
Yeah,
they were so awesome, like the Zerg brothers.
Yeah, they were good. They were good.
Let's have a look. Yeah, I don't think we actually haven't seen Rogue outside of Korea since the World Championship. I don't think.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. Where
I want Pro League back. I wake up in the morning and I'm like,
Pro League is returning soon. Don't worry. It's so very, very good.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for that to return again. It's my favorite source of StarCraft.
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic.
In the mornings when I wake up.
Oh, well. Looks like Rogue's going to open up with something a bit more economical compared to his 8 pool, at least. So,
15 spawn and pool for both players. So both having the safety guard on.
Okay,
you've got the trigger discipline. I learned about trigger discipline.
Trigger discipline.
I read about it. Yeah, I didn't know what it meant. So did you see the picture I took from the office on Twitter the other day?
With your AK.
With my AK.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of people responding to me saying, that trigger discipline. And I'm like, what does that even mean?
Oh, your finger was on the trigger?
Yeah, well, I didn't know what it meant. It was, yeah. And I Googled it, researched it, and now I understand what trigger discipline means. So the next time I hold a gun, I will make sure my finger isn't on the trigger. It will be next to the trigger, ready to pull.
Fair play. They don't know what was on the other side of the camera. You could have actually been ready to fire, you know?
I'm always ready to fire.
Okay, then. Thanks, John. Okay. Gas going to go down for Solar.
Yeah. I'm a great guy with a
Wait, what?
massive weapon.
Oh.
Hey, come on, I've got an AK-47.
Yeah, true. AK-47s are quite old, though, now. Kind of old.
Solo's chosen gas, Rogue has not. This is actually a pretty decent map to play gasless on. It's difficult to break the ramp of your opponent, the second base ramp that is, because it is nice and tight here. You can build a 3-structure wall with a queen, 3-structure and a queen to make a wall off. Or what is it? I think it might be even a, wait, 1, 2, yeah, 3-structure and a queen. So it is easier to defend.
Deny.
And
doesn't deny for long enough.
Information is the game of everything. And he goes in, sees no gas. So you see your opponent's playing greedy, and now it's the question that Solar has. Do I want to, A, take a really fast third because he cannot be aggressive, or B, try to break this guy's potential wall that he's more than likely going to make? The easier option is to expand and just take a third base.
Yeah.
If you want to test his greed levels, then go ahead and attack, but...
I mean, overall, it's a little difficult for Rogue to really punish any kind of third if it was to go down, because he just doesn't have speed, right? So,
And Rogue knows that Zergling's speed is going to be on the way, and he's also seen the third base. So both players are fully, glued into what their opponent's doing. Aside from Solar not knowing when the gases are coming down, but you can assume that they're going to come in very, very shortly here.
Yeah, definitely.
So this is now going to be a game for Solar of balance your economy and unit production. Balance it too heavily in drones and your economy, die to an attack. Underbalance it and have too many units and not good enough economy, then Rogue gets back in the game. That kind of balance is going to be crucial for him to gain the middle lead of this game.
Almost 2 Zerglings are going to die off at the front. Rogue was actually moving out with 2 queens to look for overlords, but it was a very ambitious move out considering where they are. Even going down here would have been crazy far when your opponent's about to have speed and could have a lot of Zerglings to threaten. So, has to be a little more cautious than that.
Definitely. No wall off or anything from Rogue here. Just completely fine. He's now building 2 structures, Ro8 and Evo. But still, it should be seeing Rogue in the lead. Oh, good scout. Very good scout.
Yep.
Sees the Ro8, Evo. He's going to poke around in the main, check the gases, sees nothing else he needs to know about.
The speed advantage, man. It's the power of speed.
Yeah, both players making lings here. They will kind of bounce off each other. Yeah. And Bailey Ness coming in, surprisingly, for both.
Wow.
Kind of hidden away for both as well.
We're going to stick around in this kind of early game phase a little bit longer as they look to poke and prod.
Yeah, well, the thing is, in the early game, lings beat roaches. Like, no doubt. So the Bailey Nest is here to kind of conquer your opponent's lings, because roaches aren't going to cut it to defend a third base. Too few roaches, they'll get surrounded. So this is very smart for both players to switch into lings more so than roaches, despite having a Ro8.
And he sees all of these Lings moving out, and because speed is so delayed, he's had plenty of time to prepare. So he has a ton of Lings already at his third base.
But Solar's denied his opponent's third by just having a single Ling there to stop the drone.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he's also got more units than his opponent, and his third on top too. So both players are going to go into Ling bailing wars against each other. But the defender usually, if both have equal micro, will come out the victor, which in this sense is going to be Solar.
Yeah, he just has too much going for him at this point. The Lings do have speed finish, yes, but there were already Lings of Solar on top of those Banelings, and those Banelings didn't really get the best of trades. 2 for 3, that was okay there for Rogue.
Yeah, yeah. We should start seeing Roaches come into play shortly once this Ling fight goes off, because I really don't think that Rogue can do this. This is a very difficult break to make.
Yeah. Technically, he has 20 extra. That's 2 for 2 trade. Technically, he had 20 extra Zerglings, but they're on the way, so he needs to find good room.
Solar is really pushing it here. He's extended his drone lead further, but this attack is continuing to happen.
Yeah, Lings actually make their way through into the drone line here. Those Lings, he has to be very, very careful against those Banelings.
Oh, good micro. A couple of drones do go down there.
5 in total, but he has...
Is Solar holding on, though? That's the question. He's adding in Roaches now.
But he's got to be careful about these extra Banelings.
And there's 22 more Lings. This is a really big commitment from Rogue.
Yeah, very. He mixed in a Roach or two here, which is pretty annoying. Whoop.
Yeah, well, this is how Roaches are so useless at this stage of the game. You really need them in bigger numbers. And with 22 additional Lings here, if Rogue breaks this third, this is so big for him.
He's done quite a lot already. He killed off a few drones, and those 2 Banelings. Just detonate, just do it. Don't try and wiggle on further. 9 killed off so far. The Lings continue to just be annoying. More Lings flood forwards.
Too many drones and too early switching to Roaches here. Lings beat this. Like I said earlier, it's all about the Lings at this stage of the game.
It's 30 Lings now, just kind of powering
and Rogue
away at
noticed his opponent's weakness here, and he's got +1 attack, he's got Roach War, and he's got a third base, but he's just building Lings because he knows his opponent's weak.
Banelings morphing in, but it's only 2, and they're not going to be done in time to really hold on against this. The Roaches in this location actually holding on quite well, and the third base didn't die just yet.
No, it didn't. I wonder if Rogue a little bit too ambitious there. Maybe should have just gone for the third more. And
still flooding though. Look, more Lings and Lings and Lings.
Yeah, now he goes back to drones, which is a bad sign for Rogue.
With the Roach numbers as they are,
they're climbing up. So
it's very. Oh, but he runs. If he went straight past, he's actually going for the straight engagement. The Roaches pinned up against this wall should do just fine against these Lings.
Rogue is still winning, though. I mean, he's killed so many drones. He's brought the economy in his favor and also has 3-hatch versus 3-hatch now, and is also now adding on Roaches to equal his opponents. So at the end of the day, that was a very good set of attacks from Rogue, and he did come out successful. It wasn't a failure. He just couldn't kill his opponents. So very good play. Again, from both players. Very high. Like I said, the Korean qualifier, just complete high-level play.
Yeah, it's always a treat to end up getting cast these. And Solar at this point is just looking to go on the counter-offensive, I guess, with his Roaches as well. But he's going to run into a wall. It's going to be very difficult to break.
There's already Roaches out, so it's not going to work. And now both players resort back to droning again and getting +2 attack, and the game goes on. The game goes on with a slight lead in favor of Rogue. Very slight. +2 attack a little bit faster.
It's not something Solar can't make up,
economy.
though. You know? It's not like he can't win this at all. It's just Rogue is doing pretty nice.
It depends on who makes the next big move, and it is going to be Solar. He makes the next big move of building a lot of Roaches. Does Rogue equal that, or does he add on more drones? Because that would be the difference of the two.
Right now, the drone count's dead even.
I don't know what Rogue's waiting for. Is he scouting? Or he's scouting with an Overseer. He's having a look. Do I build Roaches or drones? He's waiting. He's got this lava. He's got the supply.
Yeah, he sees Roaches popping out.
So now he adds on 12 Roaches. So
exactly.
Again, just really fine-tuning his supply.
Yeah. Zerg is the reactionary race, and overall, you got to even react when you're against another Zerg, because right here, Solar is just powering up on units. He's actually adding in some more drones as well.
Yeah, which have been spotted by Rogue, so he's just powering up Roaches right now. He's seen drones being transferred over. Ooh, and he's only building. So right now it's 65 drones in favor of Solar to 54. He is in the lead when it comes to income by 200 minerals a minute. But it is Rogue who's actually got the bigger army and is going for a big army and the supply block. The worst time to be supply block when your opponent's planning an attack.
Yeah, not good. Not good at all. 5 Overlords just about to pop, so it's not the hugest, but I mean...
30-second advantage on +2 attack as well for Rogue.
Army supply 90 against 78. If Solar holds on, he has a 10 drone advantage across these 3 bases, which is good. But Rogue, with that +2 weapons, if he crashes in right now, that's going to do a lot of damage once that +2 finishes. 3 seconds.
Good timing here for Rogue. Could equalize up the series with this.
Yeah, he's going to look for a better concave over against this Roach War fight, and he does get the better concave in this. Lynx flip forwards on that right-hand side, though, there for Solar to try and soak up some of this damage. The Queens and the reinforcement point, will they make up for this? Because right now, the Roach numbers are actually very, very even. Very even at in this fight.
Yeah, but it looks like Rogue should edge out. He's the +2 advantage, lots of units streaming over, supply lead overall, should be able to edge this win.
Yeah, well, that extra flood of Roaches on the top really will actually force this win. You're right. Plus, one Carapace is going to actually finish during this
and
as
he's
well.
got to Contaminate on the Evolution Chamber to extend the 30-second lead.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Beautiful game here by Rogue.
The numbers were very close in the middle of that fight, but just those reinforcing Roaches at the end there for Rogue, really winning it out.
Excellent decision to stay on Lynx. He brought the game back in his favor. Remember, it was always a balance between Solar with his drones and his units, and Rogue won that war, got an advantage, waited, remember, with the overseers to choose his then follow-up, whether it was going to be drones or units.
Yeah,
he saw, his opponent was potentially looking to attack, then he saw drones, so it was a bit of a mix from Solar in the later stages, and Rogue says, okay, this is where I kill you. And perfect timing on his +2, Contaminate to slow his opponents, just, that's why I love Rogue.
Yeah, he's pretty good, man. He's pretty good. Solar, do you think that if he'd have not, I mean, he was, at the end of that, it was 64 drones versus 54 drones. Do you think the 10 drone investment, were the upgrades too much of a difference there for the 10 drone investment to really do much?
If Rogue didn't hit his 30-second window and allowed that 10 drone to make a difference, so 1 or 2 more minutes in the game, because 2 or 4, 600 more minerals per minute starts to put Solar in the lead.
All right. So it's really finite, basically.
Yeah. I mean, the Zerg versus Zerg at this kind of level is so close. And that's the reason why Solo was building Roaches and drones, because he thought the Ling Flood was over, because it looked like he was about to hold. So he was looking to take that extra few second advantage. But you can't tell what your opponent's making. It was continuing Ling, so he wasn't really sure. And he took that risk, and he took the consequence as well.
Okay. Do we want to remake this game? Or, because I'm not in. I think you may be referee.
Am I?
I think so. Say regame. That might be because they were making people referee in the past one, but maybe they haven't this time.
I have to observe it on my PC, man.
I guess so. Uh-oh. All
I
right,
said
then.
re, but they didn't respond, so it's all on me. Da, 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 da.
Let me see what
and
I can do.
And our low FPS PC.
Yeah.
Go on, wait for the Roach Wars. Go on, wait for the Bailing Wars.
We've been waiting for this moment for weeks and weeks, Sean.
Get my Control N on.
I don't know how your sound settings are.
What?
So.
Shouldn't I do it too early? Do I not need Control N? I'm in a different resolution. What resolution am I meant to be in?
Yeah, you are in a different resolution. This is.
I'm in Korean. What, am I meant to be this? I am in this. Okay, hold on. Sorry. I can't talk to the player, so we have to do this on the fly. Am I better now?
No.
I'm still bad?
The UI resolution's weird.
Well, guys, we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Okay. It's currently 1-1.
Even that looks bad, kind of.
Yeah, it does.
Well,
why does that overlap the thing slightly? Okay.
Okay, never mind. It's 1-1. Everybody,
just
stay calm. For anyone that can't hear me right now or has us muted because we're bad, don't worry. It's 1-1.
Because we're bad. Okay, well, spawn at the bottom right-hand corner. Or the top left-hand corner, or the bottom right-hand corner. It is Solar. And up to the top left, of course, we have Mr. Jinner, Green Wings, Rogue.
Okay, what else is fancy?
That one is fancy.
That's
Which one's that? Is that the income? Yeah.
Yep, it's all in Korean. For some of you tuning in a little bit late, we had multiple issues today with getting this qualifier online. One of the last issues before we could actually go live is as we were going to load up the Korean, obviously, server to go live with this. All our clients, obviously in English and European, were updated to a more recent patch of StarCraft. The Koreans, though, don't get the patch until tomorrow, so we can't load into the Korean client until tomorrow. So we had to uninstall StarCraft 2 to then reinstall the only Korean version to be able to broadcast the games for you. And unfortunately, I never switched to English language in the option menu, as Cloris did, as he was the observer.
Yeah, normally you don't have to observe, so it's okay. But you actually uninstalled first time, it didn't work, after you tried to reinstall again, and then you had to reinstall again.
Yes.
So you had
a hell of a morning.
Yeah.
So we have Solar, I think it is. No, actually, wait, who's blue? Rogue. Is it? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Rogue has got the faster gas slightly. Not by much though. So it's pretty much identical.
Well, and on this map in general for ZvZ, I mean, you play a lot of Zerg yourself. So how do you feel about ZvZ on this map?
It's always the same.
Yeah.
It's always the Roach Wars. It's Zerg versus Zerg is always. Oh no, that didn't work. Wait.
What are you looking for?
Wait. There you go. Seeing what Rogue can see.
You're actually pressing Control-Shift-F with vision as well at the same time.
All at once, man.
You're pressing 4 buttons. I bind these normally just to 2 buttons, and I'm okay. I'm impressed at your control.
Thank you. I'm a StarCraft player after all. Huh? So what was I going to say? I forgot.
This map, Roach Wars,
yeah,
confined spaces
Zerg versus Zerg is pretty much always the same.
Yeah,
it's always about the management of drones and units. And already we see a commitment from Solar for Zerglings. Look at this, though. This is one thing on this map that does come into play is this space here in this green box.
Yeah.
There's no ramp. There's no wall. You cannot build a structure wall. So this is something which does make this type of play very good. Solar sees a Bailey Nest. To be honest, you say FML because you don't want your opponent to have a Bailey Nest because it's an easy win.
It's more in a more defensive location at the front, though, trying to close area off at least.
Yeah, he sees the gas, he sees the Bailey Nest. We have commitment from both players. No, actually, no commitment from Solar. He backed off.
Oh, did he?
He built drones.
Turning the links from Rogue.
So he's going into defensive because he saw the Bailey Nest. He's like, oh, whatever. The defender player usually wins in this regard, so I'm going to play defensive if you're going to do the same.
Yeah, Queens make a big difference.
Squeezed out more drones. 7 more drones, and now is building his links after 7 drones.
Nice.
And if we see a flood of units from Rogue...
Well, I think Solar's ultimately...
There's the flood.
Yeah.
So here comes the flood. So this is really good for Solar. If he holds this, he wins the series, he moves on.
Yeah.
It's 1-1, by the way.
That's really...
It's 1-1, but it's
Don't worry, guys.
It's 1-1.
Don't worry.
So this is a massive hold for Solar if he makes this work. 28 lings.
That's a lot of lings.
Lair on the way as well, so he has like a spy he could throw down immediately. He's got a not over drone, though. He doesn't know about the flood, remember? Yeah. He's seeing gases. These are fake.
Starts his layer, and all in all, that's a lot of gas taken away from the idea of Banelings to defend.
I think he's caught. Look, he's pulling drones. He doesn't know. He thinks these are gases being taken. It's fake. Rogue has faked him off.
Where are the 10 Banelings morphing in? Are they at the front?
They're there.
Uh-oh.
I can't zoom in. Never mind. Uh-oh. So here comes 6 more Banelings and a flood of units. Another spine.
If just a few good Baneling connections here for Solar.
He's got to bring his queen down. Okay, he's bringing his queen down. Sorry, I just had to see that.
That second spine morphing in is very, very important.
That was a big 2 hits for Solar.
Not too bad, not too bad. And that brings down all the Banelings for Rogue at the front.
He's winning.
Yeah.
Solar's doing it.
He needs a few lings to help out this as well, though.
Yeah, he's trying to keep his spine alive. The spine's gone with another one, but he's got lings and Banelings left. He's got the queen.
Separates a few lings off there to go straight onto this first queen.
Yeah, he saves the queen too there.
Very, very well done.
Very good hold there.
How is he holding all this?
18 more lings. He's
GG.
Great hold.
Wow.
It's great hold. He got faked out, but he still was able to hold there.
Not only was that a great hold, but it was also a short game, so you don't have to keep observing.
Yeah, we didn't see the problems of this. We didn't have any issues.
Yeah, great.
So it's Solo who moves on with Rain. 2 players out of the 4 today. But that was a really, really good hold.
Yeah,
He was tricked, he was going to lay, he was droning, he was gassing, but he had a couple of really good Baneling hits right at the start, which helped him. His production was obviously good. He had lava at the right time. So congrats to Solo. Big, big win.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Rogue, he does not move on to tomorrow's Asian qualifier, but Solo definitely does. And that means now we only have 2 series left to determine our next 2 players.
Terran versus Terran, I think the next one's going to be, if I'm not mistaken. Byung versus Gumiho. And Gumiho's making a massive return in his career right now. He's getting a lot of mech games, and he's playing very well with mech recently, and he's beating Zerg. Plays against Terran, obviously mech as well, and is playing normally against Protoss, but he's actually doing really good again. And we haven't seen him do well in a long time.
And the last time we really saw him doing good was in TVT, if you recall. Things playing against like MMA, for example. That was a long, long time ago, don't get me wrong. But for me, when I think Gumiho, I think Terran versus Terran. So, hey, I'm excited.
Yeah.
This is going to be good.
All right. Looking forward to that one. Can't wait.
All right. So join us after the break, guys, when we have our second to last series of the day here from the Intel Extreme Masters qualifiers for Korea and San Jose.